Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. EJDConstruction.com is a fully insured liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. Here's your host, the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Yes, sir. Are you ready to rock and roll? Are you feeling it? Because I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. Another great week for the Miami Dolphins. Getting ready for this matchup. You got Bradley Chubb. You got Mr. Wilson is in town. I am loving it. You got some extra reinforcements. And I'm feeling good about today. And plus, we need a hell of a performance. Why do we need a hell of a performance? Because those of us that are Canes and Dolphins fans, holy crap, that was some crap last night. That was, you basically went out on the field and laid like a turd. And like, okay, a turd is taking on the Seminoles last night. That's kind of what I saw last night. It was really bad. So today we need to, we need a little pick-me-up, as they say. And hopefully they'll give it to us today as the Dolphins hopefully improve to 6-3 and start to put that losing streak in the rearview mirror. You know what I'm talking about? We were kind of a little disappointed with all of that, but I think now everything is kind of getting back on track. The only setback was last week with Eichenberg, and now Robert Jones will get his shot, and he actually did well overall when he stepped in this past week. So we'll see. Now he'll get an entire game, and we're going to get a better feel for where Robert Jones is at the left guard spot. So, but again, eyes will be on Chubb today. Eyes will be on Wilson today. I think fans will be jacked up to see how the new additions of the Miami Dolphins actually help out. And, of course, you are listening to the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. And, by the way, Eric, you can't call him right now to go do any work because he's in Chicago right now for the game. So that's the kind of hardcore Dolphins fan we have as a sponsor and the owner of EJD Construction. He's up there with his son in Chicago enjoying the game. So it's a cool thing watching Eric and company out there. He's hanging out with a whole bunch of Dolphin fans that have made the trek. I was watching, obviously following on social media, all the fans that have been posting stuff about heading to Chicago and all that. I saw where Dolph Freaky and company, bunch of Dolphin fans, had a rough flight where the winds were so strong that they were having trouble landing. They had to, they were trying to land, and then they had to taxi back out again and go around, and then they finally were able to land and all that. So apparently, good thing is everybody was safe. So I saw that on the social media front. But, hey, we got a lot of Dolphin fans out there in Chicago at Soldier Field ready for the 1 o'clock kickoff. Sean Stanley is such a monster. He's got the point spread and everything on the board there. Soldier Field, kickoff 1 p.m., Miami -4, over and under 45.5. You're amazing, Sean. You are simply amazing. It's and he has the final score on the board in the post game. I mean, nobody works harder than that man, as always. So appreciate all of you for tuning in and keeping it locked. Remember, post game we'll have our insiders, and of course we'll have any of the reaction from the locker room. If there's any kind of earth-shattering stuff, obviously we will cover it and we'll get it out to you. We'll get any of the breaking news. We got a bunch of things to talk about here for the next couple of hours on the show, and always appreciate all of you keeping it locked. Remember, you can send in your questions and your comments on the YouTube channel. You can also reach out to us on Twitter, and that's at Big O Show. Of course, we've got the Welt and Rayom text line at 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. So many ways to participate with all of us here on the program as we hope that the Dolphins make it 3 in a row now and get to 6-3, which would be a really cool thing. And storylines develop, right? This week, they there's these two teams are meeting today, and two storylines develop. One team unloads Roquan Smith, a guy that a lot of Dolphin fans wanted, and Robert Quinn, a former Dolphin that we even talked about. Hey, you want to add a pass rusher? Well, little did we know that, Chris Greer wanted to do that, but he wanted to add a linebacker that's also a pass rusher. So he wanted to add kind of everything, and a young guy too in Bradley Chubb, and that's exactly what he did by getting Bradley Chubb. Roquan was another opportunity, for the Dolphins, but I guess they felt that Bradley Chubb was the better fit. I'm not exactly sure, whatever it was, but they made the move for Chubb and Smith. So you've got a team coming into this game feeling like, okay, our owner, our general manager, all they're thinking about is improving and getting better. And then you've got a Bears team going into this game going, they just traded away the two leaders of our defense. They had to go rename new defensive captains and all that because you took away two of the most important people on their defense. Emotionally, there's already a difference going into this game. Miami is the better team, period. Whether they had, Roquan and Robert Quinn, Miami is still the better team going into this game. But now, they're of course they're better. There's no doubt about it that they're better. But now we're going to add a little caveat to all of this. Well, one team feels like they are loading up, and the other team feels like you just gave me a butter knife to go to a gunfight. It's basically what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one good storyline walking into this. The Bears are going to be a little bit more of a demoralized team, whereas the Dolphins are going to be a team that is on the rise. They feel like, oh, wait a minute, we're getting better. Armstead's getting a little healthier now, so he's able to practice a little and play, sometimes for the team. That's pretty good now. We got, Tua back. And now we've added Bradley Chubb and we added Wilson Jr. and all of a sudden we've boosted the offense with the running game because obviously listen, man, Chase Edmonds is not a bad player. I don't know what happened here. Sometimes puzzles don't fit and the pieces just don't come together. And I think that's what it is for Chase. I wish him the best. You had to make the move because it was not working. So now you boost your offense by getting a guy that knows the offense, is productive, and is super happy with his role. He's not going to be sitting there demanding, not that Chase was doing this, but at least you won't have that issue ever. Because Jeff Wilson is a complimentary player that understands he's a complimentary player. And I think that that's incredibly important, on a football team that everybody understands their roles. This gives them an opportunity to go out and excel. This is a game where the Miami Dolphins got to feel better about themselves. Even, the losing streak in a way helps fans, helps some of the media that doesn't get it, and overall helps the team. And what I mean by that is things were rolling when you started, right? Then you get derailed with Tua going out and you lose all the games. And now Tua comes back and you're winning all your games. You're getting better because obviously they played a much smoother game last week and hopefully they can do the same thing today in Chicago. But it makes you feel better about what direction you're going, what you need to do in order to succeed. So if you had fans, any doubts that you need Tua to win, well, now those idiots that thought that Teddy Bridgewater was going to take his job, or the fools that actually think that Skyler's ready to, lead an NFL team at this point when he hasn't seen NFL defenses yet. Now you know that the game is completely different when Uno is in there. That's it. When Uno is in there, let me put him right under my hat. When Uno is in there, it's a whole different ballgame. There we go. Okay? Whole different ballgame when Uno is there. That's all I can tell you. And that instills the confidence that you need. The offensive line knows we got to block our asses off because that's our meal ticket. The receivers know, man, I got to run my routes. I got to catch the balls because that guy is our meal ticket. And that, I think that gives an injection into the team. And listen, we noticed it, right? After the 3-game losing streak, you could tell the guys were incredibly happy to have Tua back. So it's really nice what's developing here for the Miami Dolphins. And listen, a couple more weeks here, you get yourself a bye. So if you can take care of business over the next couple of weeks, you're going to get a week off. You're in a groove. You're playing well. You just got to take care of business now. Got to take care of the Bears this week and work your way out and take it week by week. I know it's boring. I know it's cliche-ish, but that's really the only way to handle all of this. But it's really cool to see, the direction that the Dolphins are going in. And then today, the team's got to feel it. And you, the fans out there, have got to feel it. You got to feel so much better about the team right now with Chubb and Jeff Wilson in there. And I think Jeff Wilson is going to make a really nice impact for the Miami Dolphins because he is a perfect complementary player to Raheem Mostert. And look out, baby. Short yardage. I'm looking forward for an Alex Ingold and a Jeff Wilson punching it in, baby. I know I'm going to see that, and I bet I'll see it even today. I bet you that's part of the packages that they practice with Jeff Wilson. A power running eye set package, right? Run to the left side in between Connor, Jones, and Armstead. Touchdown. First down. I'm just telling you, that's something I think that is really needed in this offense, and I think Jeff Wilson can provide that now because now you've got a sledgehammer in front, behind the left side of your line, which is strong, and then Jeff Wilson. Tough runner. I like it a lot. Let me go over here some of the super chats. Thank you, True Fin fan, as always, dude. Thank you. My brother, please fix that hair hanging from the right side of your cap. Oh. It's when you have long hair, you got long hair, bro. You can't do anything about that stuff. You can't do anything about it. You got long hair. I mean, you can't do anything. What am I going to do? Stick it behind my ear? I don't know, bro. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Don't ever say I didn't help you. Thank you. It is what it is, bro. When you got long hair, it just is. It's all over the place. Billy Shaw saying 6-3 is coming, baby. Big O. Thank you and Sean for all you do. Wilson will impress. Tua will ball. Chubb gets 2 sacks. Go Dolphins. Thank you, Billy Chubb. Appreciate it as always. I hope that Chubb gives me a chubby today, says Pereira. He probably will excite you today with the way he plays. That's what I would say. It's a chubby day, like you're saying. There you go. Michelle Cuervo says it was the greatest trade that the Miami Dolphins made. It improves their defense and offense since the secondary is banged up too. Yes, it was a great trade. I don't think you meant by the greatest, but it was a great trade. I get what you're saying. I'm with you there. 1 like to 35. Let's go. 35. Come on, let's go. There's 297 people on here. Let's go. Hit that. Smash the hell out of that like button. There's only 49 right now to the 308 that are watching. That means 250, over 250 people have not hit the like button. Come on. Give us a little love there. Hit that like button. It doesn't take much. This gets it out to more Dolphin fans around the world. So help us build the channel up so we can get more and more Dolphin fans watching, man. To the Brian Flores fans, I like going into week 9, 5-3 rather than 1-8. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you there. There's no doubt. Yes. True Fin fan, thank you also for the super chat again. After today, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets. Yes, sir. What the hell happened to Barry Jackson? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Something happened to Barry Jackson? I hope he's all right. The hell? What are you guys talking about here? Do you know what the hell they're talking about there, Sean? What happened to Barry Jackson? Is there anything wrong with Barry Jackson? God, I hope not. It's not. Don't put a damper on the day, dude. Like, wow.
It doesn't look like he sent out a tweet in like a week.
It's been a week that he hasn't sent out a tweet? Really? Wow, I haven't even realized that. That sucks. Okay. Oh, I hope everything's all right with Barry.
Yeah, it had been 6 days ago.
Yeah, that's not like Barry. You're right. Well, I don't know. No, you know what? I'll do a little digging. I hope he's all right. Giovanni Antoine, thank you, sir, for the super chat. He says, hit the like button, help grow our community. Yes, please. That's what you do when you hit that like button. You're helping our Dolphin community grow in a big time way. What are the weaknesses on the team? How will other teams attack us? Eric, that kind of stuff changes from week to week. So not everybody has the same weapons. Not everybody has the same defense. Not everybody has the same kind of coaching. So that's a very complicated question. Okay? And I'll give you an example. Let's talk a little bit about this. The Dolphins, the Bears aren't really a great passing team. So Miami's secondary will not be tested nearly as much as they would be with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City, things like that, like elite passers, elite receiving, passing cores, all that kind of stuff, tight ends. So you're not going to get tested that way from Chicago. They're actually the number one running team in the NFL. You're going to get tested by them because they're number one at 188.4 yards. They average 5.3 yards per game, per rush. Number one in the NFL. But Miami's number 5 in the NFL in stopping the run at 100.6 a game. Strength meets strength. Their weakness is Miami's so-called weakness because of some of the injuries in the secondary. So you're not going to be tested the same way. Those kind of questions are answered week to week because you just don't know who you're facing and then what are their strengths and weaknesses going from one matchup to another. You might face the Bills, who are powerful in the pass game, in the run game, and on defense. They're a complete team. They're a pain in the ass. So now you're going to be tested all over the place. Chicago will not test you out that way. It all changes. It all depends on how you're, what teams you're facing. So that's a question that we just will deal with. And I'll deal with it like I gave you a little example of it throughout the next 2 hours. We will talk about some of the things to look for in this game That's one of them I just gave you right there. Their running game, not just the running backs, but Justin Fields, because he runs a lot, against Miami's run defense. And you just added Bradley Chubb, which gives you a linebacker that is strong against the run, which I really love that. So that's going to help out today. All of a sudden, Miami's run defense just got a jolt, just got better. They're going to climb from 5 to 4, 3, or whatever now with Bradley Chubb, because you just added a thumper in there. You added a guy that can really help you out in the run game. You added a complete defensive player. So that's where, Eric, I can't answer that question, in general, because that's not the way the game is played. It's a chess game. And sometimes you've got a rook and you've got a bishop left over, right? But you lost your queen. Sometimes you're going to face a team that's got queen and a couple bishops and no rooks, if you know how to play chess. So you're going to cover more ground or less ground depending on the chess pieces that you have. Comprende, compadre? We go to Tom Wilson. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Like smashed, and the Phinz are up. Listening in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. We get 100% of that donation on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And as you all know, I love my Bitcoin. So if you donate Bitcoin, that's even better. Let's see. Do you see AVG playing more middle linebacker with Chubb at outside linebacker? No, I don't. I think he's an outside guy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see AVG playing inside, more outside than anything else. It's going to be a rotation, and AVG will have to kind of deal with, uneven playing time, unfortunately. And I'm an Andrew Van Ginkel fan, man. I think he's a fantastic player, and I don't think he's even seen his peak yet. I feel bad that he had that injury early on, because it kind of set him back, and he had a couple weeks before he could get back on track. But that is one guy that I'm a big Andrew Van Ginkel fan. But this gives Miami also a lot of depth, which is the cool thing too. That's the part we got to look at. You do have a lot of depth now for the Miami Dolphins, and I think that part is incredibly important for the Phinz. All right, 855-912-1056 on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056 on the Welt and Rayom text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. So, we talked about the trades this week, right? And Miami is coming in after Tua had one hell of a week against Detroit, and he performed at a really high level. Well, guess what happens now? We're talking about a team now in Roquan and Robert Quinn gone. You have less pass rush. All of a sudden, you lose, and before this, let's talk a little football. Before Roquan and Robert Quinn were traded, you were 27th in sacks. I like that. So now you lose those guys. That's going to hurt your pass rush. That's going to buy Tua more time. They got a young secondary that I think they're going to be able to take complete advantage of. And you've watched how Tyreek Hill he makes cornerbacks nervous, man. Those guys have no confidence standing in front of him. They got to give him all kinds of space. Roquan was helping you in the run game. He had 2.5 sacks, I believe, so he was helping you a little bit in the pass rush. Obviously, Robert Quinn is a pass rush guy. Now you got to throw players in there that are not going to be nearly as good. Look for the passing game to get a little bit of a boost this week because you lost a lot on the Chicago side. So I'm looking forward to, and even if it's windy and all that kind of stuff, remember this is another narrative that I'll crush. Okay. A lot of people, they think, oh, well, this is the new one now, right? Because Tua just keeps crushing them all. So they keep trying to come up with shit. And the good thing about being old, very few things, but one of the good things is perspective. You lived a longer life than some other people. You've watched more football than some other people. So maybe you might understand it a little bit more than others. Okay. Fran Tarkenton played in shitty weather all the time. And he's Montana, and he's Breeze, and he's Greasy, and he's Tua. And I know because Breeze played in a dome, so people, all that stuff, but they don't mention the other guys, right, that have played in bad weather. And they had to travel. So at one point or another, Montana had to leave San Francisco and play in other places. Bob Greasy had to play in bad places. Drew Brees had to leave the dome and play in bad places. Fran Tarkenton played his whole life in bad places. They all can survive. The problem is some of the media members and fans, they have this thing like, well, we'll see about rain and weather and all that. And they go back to the Tennessee game that was poorly managed, that it wasn't a good offensive game. Hell, they had success running the ball in the first half, and the moron chose not to run in the second half, which in that kind of weather, you watch the other guy on the other side, they were running the hell out of the ball. And Duke Johnson actually had success in that game. But just because that was a bad game for Tua, all of a sudden, narratives show up. He can't play in bad weather, which is stupid. The guy can play in any weather. He can play in sunshine, rain, whatever. The game that is played in the NFL is inside like a 35-yard box. You're going to make your occasional throws downfield, and Tua's done a lot more than we expected this year, especially more than the haters or the disbelievers or whatever you want to label yourselves. But this is a guy that is not going to have a problem playing if it's windy today because he's an anticipatory thrower. He can adjust to all of this. What did I tell you when he had the 24 days off and he had the bad game? What did I tell you? He's got to he's got to what? Calibrate, right? His arm, his game, he's got to adjust it to the game speed again. And it took him a week, and he adjusted it to the game speed. He'll do the same thing if it's a little windy. The 10, 15, 30-yard pass, yeah, it'll be slightly affected, but he'll understand that, and he'll adjust to it better than actually some other guys. Won't be a problem whatsoever. He'll be just fine in any kind of weather, period. Now, if there's this swirling storm, nobody is good at it because every ball is going to be redirected. And it doesn't matter how strong your arm is. We've seen those kind of games where you got to run a lot and really short passes, and it's very dangerous to pass when there's heavy snow, heavy rain, those kind of things. I get it. But that's another narrative that is just silly talk when they get into that. By the way, EJD Construction, a proud sponsor of our program. Eric is in Chicago, the owner of EJD Construction. So anybody in South Florida, listen, if you're looking to redo your home, maybe you had some fire damage you need to remediate and you got to gut it all out and start all over, they can do that. There's a lot of our listeners that are calling now EJD Construction to fix their roofs. Why? Because here in Florida, these insurance companies now are not renewing homes where your roof, I think it's past 20 years, it needs to get upgraded and updated. And there are things that you have to do to upgrade your roof. EJD Construction can do that for you so you can pass inspection and get your, hurricane insurance and flood insurance, all of that. Very important. So call EJD Construction. Maybe you want to add a room to your home. Maybe you want to add a second floor to your house. A contractor. They do it all and fully insured. I will not have somebody on the platform that is not fully insured, because I don't want you hiring somebody that if their workers get hurt on your property, see if you fall like Alarmo did now, and you get injured, they can sue you. Well, no, EJD Construction is fully insured. They won't sue you. They've got their insurance, liability, what's it called? Workers' comp. So make sure, even if you don't hire EJD Construction or Cutter's Edge Pro, two of the companies that we have on our platform, both insured, but make sure whoever you hire that they prove to you that they're insured, because if not, you're at risk. All right? And these workers that go into your homes to work, they know the laws better than you do. So be careful. Call EJD Construction, fully insured, licensed. They will take care of you. 305-433-4843. Mark says, I'm the biggest Dolphin fan in Chicago. I like it. All right. Inactives, Myles Gaskin, Eric Ezukama, Skylar Thompson, Austin Jackson, and River Craycraft. Really no surprises there. Myles Gaskin will be inactive as long as Wilson is ready to go. Yeah. So what are you going to do? All right. What else do we have going on in this game? Oh, let's do this. Give me a 2-minute break. All right. Let me rest the voice a little bit here. 2 minutes. We'll be back. I want to get into a couple of things. First of all, I want to get into excuses that they're making for others that they don't do for Tua. I got to get into that. I want to get into something silly that some Dolphin fans approached me about this week, and I don't know why you waste your time on that. I want to get into what the Dolphins defense needs to do today against the Bears. Also, where Chicago is going to open the door for something beautiful Miami today. Okay. So I got that. I got a whole bunch of other things that I want to talk about. Obviously, we'll take your questions, your comments. Please smash the hell out of the like button. It is incredibly important that you smash the like button and help us grow and help us reach more Dolphin fans around the world, because it's not just in South Florida. That's what I talk about all the time on this platform. This platform is for the South Florida fan around the world, because we've got them all over the place. And the beauty is on YouTube here, we can bring them all together. And obviously, it's all podcasted on all platforms. They can all find it there at Big O Radio Show. But this here on YouTube, we can get them all over the world joining us, so we as a Dolphin Nation can get ready. By the way, this platform is prepared for the Super Bowl. Yes, we are. We made reservations this past week. We got ourselves a beautiful house out in Phoenix, and we are set to go. I'm not getting old. I don't get hotels anymore when we travel. I get an Airbnb and get a house. So we got a nice house in Phoenix for the week. We are ready to broadcast out there for Super Bowl week when the Dolphins make it. I had to get prepared, man. I can't wait till, January or December to get on the bandwagon. We don't do that here. Okay, we were on the Tua bandwagon from day one. For the last 2 years, we told people Tua's a star. Everything else around him is setting him back. Many laughed at me. Now they're not laughing anymore. We told many years ago, fire Tannenbaum and Gase. and hire Chris Greer. We don't get on bandwagons. We start the bandwagon, okay? That's how we do it. That's how we roll. And I got confidence that this team, with a little luck, as Paul McCartney would say, with a little luck, we can make it to the Super Bowl. Just a little luck. I just need some health. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking the football gods for no more injuries from here. You did enough to us, okay? You did enough for half a season already. No more injuries. That's it. Get me injury-free, and sky's the limit for the team. So I said, let me prepare ahead of time here because, others will then say, oh, the Dolphins are a Super Bowl team. I want to tell you, they can be a Super Bowl team right now. Just a little luck. That's all. That's all I'm asking for. A little luck. And maybe the Dolphins can make it to the big game. So if we make it to the big game, which I expect to make it to the big game, this platform will be in Arizona, covering the Miami Dolphins, covering the practices. We will be there, baby. Guaranteed we will be there. Bet on that. All right? Okay, what else do we have? Let me take a 2-minute break here. Let me rest the voice. Get a little honey and lime going. And we'll be right back right here on the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show.
You're listening to Miami Dolphins coverage on the Sports Talk 305 network, brought to you by EJDconstruction.com. This is the Miami Dolphins Pregame Show with Orlando Alzugaray.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
foregoing statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugaray.
Alrighty. I love it. Hey, don't forget, post-game, we will announce the winner of our Miami Heat Portland Trailblazer tickets, thanks to our friends at redrecover.com. Yesterday at Walk-Ons, we gave away, we must have given away like easily 25 prizes yesterday with all kinds of gift cards from Walk-Ons, gift cards from our friends at Caneswear, Perdomo gift sets with a lighter and a cutter. We gave one away every quarter. Our friends at CuttersEdgePro.com donated Miami Heat tickets, gave away 3 pairs of tickets to the Hornets and the Trailblazers last night to the fans. So we had a blast, man. And this afternoon during our Dolphins postgame show, we will announce our winner for our redrecover.com Miami Heat tickets that we gave away. You got to follow them on Instagram at red.recover and tag hashtag Big O Radio Show on your post. And you are entered, and we will pick the winner in the post-game show, and we will announce it. So follow them on Instagram at red.recover. Also, our friends at Nature B, we're giving away 2 prize packs worth over $100. You got to follow them also on Instagram at NatureBNZ. Tag a friend and use the hashtag Big O Radio Show, and you and your friend are automatically entered. We will pick 2 winners at the beginning of December to win the over $100 prize pack also from Nature B. So we're giving prizes away left and right here on the platform. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Oh, let me see what I'm praying that if we win a playoff game this year, next year, that's the year I'm looking forward to, and praying that we have no injuries. If it wasn't for injuries, Miami would be 7-1 right now. I personally think they would be undefeated, but that's just me. What can I say? One game at a time is how they approach it during our Super Bowl years. Well, that's how everybody should approach life, period. You know, you can plan ahead, but you gotta to get there, you gotta work your ass off every day. So yes, I'm with you there. Big O, do you see Chubb deal helping us like Von Miller deal last year that sent the Rams and a Super Bowl victory? I think he's going to help, but I think that it's not him being the thing that puts you over the top. He's going to help you, but I think it's having McDaniel and having that front office and having the quarterback. I think those are the things that are going to make this team what it is. You know, you have a front office that can unearth talent, find it in street free agency, undrafted, drafted, trades. I love that. You know, that's you got to have that. And then you got an offensive mind that really understands today's game. Are you kidding me? And then you got a quarterback, finally. You haven't had one since Marino. All the guys that came through, whatever, but none of them were franchise quarterbacks. Is what it is. This is the first franchise quarterback that you've had since Dan Marino. That's what's going to put them over the top. The Chubb deal just helps out because it's a team that needs some pieces. Look, they don't have a good, strong safety right now. They lost Brandon Jones. That's a weakness. This is a team that can win a lot of games and go far, but they're not perfect. And I think that is it's so difficult to get to perfect. It really is. Sometimes we make it sound a little easier than what it is, and sometimes you're going to get to the Super Bowl and win it, and you're not going to be perfect. So that Baltimore team that won back in 2001, I think it was, right? They weren't perfect. That offense wasn't perfect. But their defense was so dominant. Their running game was so dominant. You were able to overcome. John Yang says, Big O, my flight got canceled to Chicago because of the wind, so I won't be at the game, but I will be rooting for the Phinz from home. Let's get it, dude. Yeah, you see the wind stuff was brutal, dude. Brutal over there. Big O, what's your lock of today besides Miami? LOL. Yeah, Miami is a lock today. I think they easily win -4. I think they easily win by 7 or 10 points. That will be my A. Lenny Locksmith lockdown pick in a minute. Yesterday we sucked thanks to the Canes. Well, I mean, the Tyler thing, that was stupid of me to think that he was going to be healthy enough to play, and he just wasn't. And unfortunately, that without Tyler, they really had zero chance whatsoever. I got to look over the line and give me a little bit, and I'll look over the line at the top of the hour when I take a little short break there, and we'll go over it. Leon says people forget Phinz are not just 5-0 in games Tua starts and ends. They also did not start and finish the same QB in the games they lost. Yep, that's right. Does Chase Claypool have any impact in his first game? I don't think he'll have a major impact. Watch him have 200 yards today. It's a new receiver and timing and all that stuff. That might be a little bit of a mission, but I would expect him to catch a couple balls, but I don't know about major impact yet. That'd be pretty cool if he does right from the get-go. That's tough to do as a wide receiver. All right. Today, let's talk a little bit about something in this matchup that I like, and it's the Dolphin defense today. Remember, we talked a little bit about it where the Chicago rush offense is number 1 in the NFL, 188 yards, but Miami's defense is number 5 in the NFL, stopping the run, and they added Chubb. So they're going to have an even better player there to help them stop the run, okay? Justin Fields is not a pocket passer yet. I don't know if he ever will become one. I root for that kid. Not today, but I have a lot of respect for him, watching him at Ohio State and the toughness he showed and taking those kidney shots against Clemson and throwing a touchdown after he got a kidney shot and everything. Just the moxie that the kid plays with. He is a tough hombre, okay? But watching Justin Fields, he's not a great passer. He's just not. He's not an accurate passer right now either. I think that's what you want to do. You want to make sure they can't run the ball effectively. You want to make sure that Justin Fields doesn't get outside the pocket a lot. Miami did a pretty good job overall with Lamar. I think he got away with one of those runs. But overall, they kind of, and it's almost impossible to control that guy. But they kind of kept him in check in a way outside of that one big run. Well, this kid, you've got to do the same thing. You've got to keep him in check because he's not a pocket passer. He will try to get outside the pocket, and he can make some plays on the run. He's pretty good at that. He's not bad at that. So keep him in the pocket, force him to beat you out of the pocket, force him to be accurate. Do not allow that run game to take over. And here's the beauty of all of this that I like about this matchup. You want yourself some Jalen Phillips? Jalen Phillips is coming for you today. The Chicago Bears have allowed a league-high 31 sacks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they have allowed a league-high 31 sacks. Jalen Phillips, you want to pick up a sack or two? Welcome aboard. Emmanuel Ogbah, you've been disappeared for a while. Get one. Bradley Chubb, welcome to the Miami Dolphins. Get yourself a sack. Chicago is home for Oprah. She loves to give shit out. You get one, and you get one, and you get one. Well, guess what? I believe the Miami Dolphins defense today will get all kinds of sacks. That's what they do. And Justin Fields does a good job of running into them also. Like a lot of young quarterbacks that run a lot, they end up running into sacks a lot of times. The misconception that a mobile quarterback will allow you to avoid sacks, well, it actually becomes the polar opposite of that. A lot of times your running quarterbacks force the team into a lot of negative plays. And Justin Fields has done a ton of his overall. So I expect Jalen Phillips to get on the board today. I expect Bradley Chubb to get one today and say, welcome aboard. Welcome to the NFL. Welcome to the Miami Dolphins. Bradley Chubb. That is one thing that I expect to collide today. The Dolphin offense getting after Justin Fields and putting some pressure on him. Sean Seipler. Big O. Let's go, Phinz. It's a new day and a new era. Excitement going back to 94. Marino days, Big O. Love you, brother. Sean, love you. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you in the super chat. Eric Echevarria in for another super chat. Thank you, sir. Is Byron Jones playing us, or is he really hurt? Any idea when he plans on coming back? What, for playoffs? LOL. Well, Eric, you listen to the show. We're the ones that have kind of told you what's been going on with Byron Jones. I had a listener tell me when Byron Jones comes back, put him on the IR. Keep him on the IR. Don't let him play. Don't let him try to build up his value for next year. Can't do that. Can't do that. If you were loaded and you had a young corner that was shutting people down, Byron, yeah, we're going to keep you on the bench because, Kader Kohu is playing lights out. We can't bench him now. You don't have that. And you're going to have to play him. And if he can play, it's what's best for your team right now. You cannot look at the locker room and say you're doing what's best for them by trading for Bradley Chubb and Jeff Wilson and finding Brandon Shell off the street to actually do a really good job of right tackle, where I think he's taken Austin Jackson's job. A guy off the street has taken Austin Jackson's job. And then you can't tell your team you're trying to win, and then you're going to keep Byron Jones on the bench when he is 100% because you're worried that he's trying to build value for next year. You got to try to win games. So I told that listener yesterday, you got to try to win games. You got to do what's best for yourself. And if he's trying to do what's best for him, so be it. And listen, the good thing is, here's what you got to remember. If and when he ever comes back, he needs to play well for next year. So that will help the Dolphins. And that's all that matters. Okay? You part ways with the guy at the end of the year. That's what's going to happen. It was ridiculous that he waited till March to have the surgery. I mean, everything by Byron Jones has been mishandled. At least that's what it looks like. And it seems like they've done everything on their end. It seems like it's all on his end now. That's kind of what I've been telling you for a while now. That from what I'm hearing is that he's kind of particular about when he comes back, and it's a nick here, a setback there, and I don't feel 100% and all that. And, I'm told he's kind of diva-ish, like even how he dresses and everything. He has to dress to a T and, like everything has to be like impeccable. That's what people are saying. So it's not a Will Fuller thing, but it's one of those things where he's kind of particular about it. So it's created setbacks. But I really think that, outside of that, I really think the pass rushers today can play a major, major part in this game and create turnovers and create more offense for the team and shorter fields. And I just think that, Tua Tagovailoa is going to have that offense running all over the fields, and the defense will be running all over Justin Fields. That's what I think is going to end up happening. Rosendo says the Dolphins need to win, period. Don't worry about the other teams. Let's just take care of business. Amen to that. I don't care about the other teams. You take care of business. Everything else will fall into place. Like Bitcoin, still over 21,000. Matthew Toffler, thank you for the love on the Venmo. Very nice of you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it, Matthew. Very nice. Remember, you can send in a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. He says, would you pay this for the quality pre- and post-game programming if you were on Patreon? There we go. We will be on Patreon soon. And I am also going to be doing something on the side for you guys on Twitter too. So we will be doing some special stuff. What's that called? Super follow on Twitter, that kind of stuff. Ernesto Ulbarro, thank you for the love on Cash App. And he says, let's go, Big O. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you as always. Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. That is Cash Big O Show. As always, appreciate all of you out there for supporting us in a big time way. Greater Good says, sorry, Byron. Chubb has your money. Well, I mean, Byron got his money, you know, so it's not like he didn't get his money. He got his cash. Let's see. Rosendo says, just came back from church praying my intentions for your health, Big O and Mr. Stanley. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rosendo. We love you. Hope you added pink Himalaya salt to your tea. Okay, I gotta find some pink Himalaya. Do they just sell pink Himalaya sauce at salt at the stores? That sounds like something I gotta go get. It sounds kind of exotic. Big O, if we let Gesicki, Teddy, and Landon and Gaskin all walk, that's 23 million save. We can cut Cedric, trade Byron, that's 19 million save. Keep Christian Wilkins with 17 and still have 25 in space. Yeah, no, it's all going to be worked out. I don't know about Landon, but I can tell you that Gesicki for sure. Teddy's gone. That's $6.5 million. Now you save it because Skylar is going to be looking like a real backup. So that's actually really cool. That helps you. Let's see. Wilson Jr., he should know McDaniel's offensive system and jump right in. Yes, he will, Marky Mark. Guaranteed. And Brian Looper, Big O, favorite topping on a pizza? Chicken. Grilled chicken, believe it or not. I love pizza with grilled chicken. I like meatball pizza, too. I'm kind of torn. You know? I got an Anthony's coal fire close to me, and once in a while, I'll be in the mood for a meatball pizza, and I'll go to Anthony's coal fire. I like their meatball pizza. Chicken, meatball, I don't know if... Oh, you know what? Pepperoni. I love pepperoni pizza, too. You know? Yeah. Probably those three. You know what it is? It's a mood thing. Okay? And the chicken, I don't like it everywhere. Depends on how they season it. Okay? Anthony's also does a nice job of seasoning their chicken. I like their chicken seasoned. Yes. Eric, again, with another super chat. Thank you, sir. It says, Manalo here again, or is that Manolo? Been meaning to ask you, what's happening to Onside? Looked like you were picking up serious steam, rooting for you, brother. No support, bro. You can't do things by yourself. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to do something by myself, then I'll just, work with Sean here on this platform, and together, Sean and I will do what we're doing here, and I have no headaches or anything like that. I was appreciative that they tried it, But unfortunately, the support just wasn't there. And, it's kind of the way it is, man. And listen, I'm doing something, they're doing something. It's two different things. It never collided. So it was, you know what? I knew I was in trouble with Onside Radio the second I got there, and I knew that the team wasn't working with the station. When the team wouldn't even tell their fans that they have Onside Radio, that they wouldn't put it inside the stadium, that they wouldn't put it on their emails, that they wouldn't put it on social media. On their Twitter account, they had like what does it have, like a 1.5 million followers or whatever crazy ass number it has. They wouldn't even put it on their Twitter feed. It's like, okay, what am I here for? It's like all the stuff that we clearly talked about doing before we started, 80% of it wasn't done. Hey, we're going to have a coach's show. Yeah. Never got a coach. Players, rarely they would give us players. It's just, it's like, we're your flagship, right? That kind of stuff. It was hilarious, to be honest with you. It was gut-wrenching. It aged me for no reason at all. You know what I mean? There was so much incompetence that it was just ridiculous. It was a waste of my time. Put it that way. It was an absolute waste of my time. That's what it was. Unfortunately. But that's what happens, man. In this world, it doesn't matter what. If people don't understand what you got to do, then it's going to fail right away. And it's like, well, we're going to create our own, because that's where everybody's headed. Eventually, the Heat will not be on radio in coming years, and neither will the Marlins, and neither will the Dolphins, and eventually, if they're all smart, they're all have their own apps, and they're all broadcasting on their own and sending it out, and everybody can pick it up on a smart car, smart radio, smart TV, wherever they're at in the world. Radio signals are dying. It's all done. So eventually, that's kind of what I explained to them, that you're going to be ahead of the curve, because that's exactly where we're going. People aren't going to radio anymore. It's very few people. It's older people that are listening to radio, old people that can't adjust to YouTube. And I got a lot of listeners that have not found us because they're not sound enough. And they don't know how to download an app, and they don't know how to find podcasting, and they don't know how to go to YouTube, and they don't understand what it is to hit the like button or the subscription or the notification bell, right? They don't know any of that shit. There's a lot of those kind of listeners out there that they would love to have this programming every day, but they can't get it because they're not technically sound. But this is where we're headed. And so that's why the whole onside thing ended up failing. You got no support. That's what ends up happening. All right. John, thank you, sir, for the love on the Cash App. Very, very nice of you. Thank you, sir. Let me see. Phinz up, Big O. The Phinz best is yet to come. Amen, John. A freaking men, dude. That's the one thing that I love about what we're watching. I just think that the best is yet to come. I think Tua can play better. And let me tell you something. I'll piggyback on something you just said right now, John. You now add Wilson to this mix. By the way, for you fantasy guys, I love Raheem Mostert today. Chicago's defense is not that good. When you talk about the running game, they give up their share of yards. So I think you're going to see for the first time this year, you're going to see a complementary running game between Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. And if you start seeing that develop, that makes Tua so much better. Because the running game has been somewhat effective. because Raheem has had some moments, and he will. I mean, he hits them for yards every once in a while. He's getting some good chunk yardage at times. But now I think you're going to see more of a consistent game with Wilson in the mix and Alec Ingold. I love how they're developing and improving the team as the year goes on, and they're finding pieces here, there, that somebody releases, they can pick up in a waiver wire, they can pick up in a trade. I just think it's enormous to see that you're able to do those kind of things as a franchise. And the fact that they're always willing to do it. But that is one thing that I think is going to happen today. That run game, I think, it's going to make Tua better. So I'm with you. The best is still yet to come, because if you improve the running game, then that offense becomes so much better. If the offensive line starts to develop into, hey, now they can consistently open up some holes, my God, this is awesome. Fantastic. I'm with you. The best is yet to come with the Miami Dolphins. And now you added Bradley Chubb. Your defense can get a little better. The secondary, you got to get Byron Jones back to really get to the point where you want to get to with those corners. Remember, adding Bradley Chubb, and you can get Byron Jones. My God, that defense could take another step. Pretty cool. Be very cool. Wow Printing and Graphics says Tua and Tyreek are going to take the top off the defense today, and they're going to say the wind helped them throw it that far. Exactly. Von 954 says, anyone in the Palm Beach area, 11/16, November 16, I'll be performing at the Palm Beach Improv. Come have a good laugh and say you were there to see me. Von Green for free entry. Well, there we go. We got a comedian among our midst. There we go. I like it. I like it. Little comedian action. Maybe when are you gonna do it? November 16. Okay. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll show up. You never know. Speaking of appearances, let me give you something next Thursday that you guys can show up. Tyler Dunn, a buddy of mine, wrote a book about tight ends and how the tight end saved the NFL is the title. And he did interview a few greats, part of that book. Shockey was part of that book, and so is Olsen and stuff. And next Thursday at Hijinks in Boca, we talk about it all the time. And I don't know if maybe I can I don't know, Sean, do I text it to you? Do I email it to you? How do I send it to you so you can post it? But here it is. You have them both ways there, Sean, the tweet. So next Thursday at 6:00, Tyler is going to be out there, and you can check him out. You can get his book signed also at the same time. So he's going to have the books out there at Hijinks. And we tell you about Hijinks all the time because, it's probably the most beautiful sports bar in South Florida. And when I mean beautiful, okay, you can show them the picture, Sean. Click in the picture. Well, that's the book right there, of course. Right there, Tyler Dunn's book, The Blood and Guts, How the Tight End Saved Football. Like I said, it's a beautiful bar. The women there are either current or former Dolphins cheerleaders. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yes, the whole bar, okay? It's like, go to the Instagram page at Hijinks Sports Grill in Boca. Only one location. And just peruse. Go through the pictures on IG. You will remember me. So anyway, He's going to be there this Thursday signing books at 6 o'clock. So if you want to go out there, meet Tyler. Tyler will be on the show on Wednesday to talk a little bit about the book. I have the book downstairs. Should have had it with me. Maybe I'll bring it upstairs for the post-game show. Big O, is Ian returning to the show for NFL rumors about Chris Greer? What's the NFL rumors about Chris Greer? I don't know what we're talking about. What's the rumors about Chris Greer? I don't know what we were talking, but Ian is on the show every week, sir. Don't you watch it? Not exactly sure, but do you watch the show? Because he's on every week. Why would you ask me that? So there you go. I don't see any reports here. Let me see. No. Let's see. I don't see anything. I don't know what he's talking about with Chris Greer. Have no idea. Anyway, so first of all, he's asking me if Ian's going to be on, which is a stupid question because he's on every Wednesday. So it was already a post that was kind of questionable as it is because it's kind of a lazy listener or watcher or whatever. Because you shouldn't ask me if Ian Rappaport's going to be on because he's on every Wednesday. And it's not like he comes on Sundays. I don't bring him on. He's kind of busy on Sundays. But I don't know. So there we go. Big O, do we mention Big O sent us? What are you talking about, Castillo? I don't know what you're talking about. Yes?
For the book signing, I believe is what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. If you go to Hijinks, you always mention that we sent you. Definitely. Of course. Yes. And we'll have Tyler on Wednesday, so you'll get to meet him and get to watch him and listen to him. Big O, what's the news on Sidney Jones? I have no idea, no news on Sidney Jones. So I have no idea what's going on, if they've signed him or whatever. Seattle released him, right? And he cleared waivers? Is that what it is? Did they do that? Is that what we're talking about? That's the only thing I can think of. But right now, I don't know anything, at least if there's any news with Sidney Jones at all. I'd be lying to you, and I told you if I knew anything. But let me see here.
He cleared waivers 2 days ago.
What's that?
He cleared waivers 2 days ago.
Yeah. I know that, but I'm just wondering. Yeah, he could sign with anybody, and nobody has signed him. So I don't know what's going on. Sometimes fans, they get ridiculous. And 2 days ago, a fan was like, "Hey, where's Eric Azukama? Why isn't he playing?" And I've tried to explain to people this, even with Cedric. Once you added Tyreek, it was over. Waddle and Tyreek are going to get all the balls. The number 3 wide receiver is nothing on the Dolphins. It's a rotational player. There will be no number 3 permanently on the Miami Dolphins right now while you have Tyreek and Waddle. It might be featured 1 week. Craycraft might be featured. What's it called? Sherfield, maybe Gesicki, whoever. It doesn't really matter. It might be a running back that might be the 3rd guy that week. That's what it is. It's just potluck. Nothing more, nothing less. And here's the other thing that leads to all of this. And this is the part where the ignorant fan steps in. Okay? Because the ignorant fan all of a sudden starts to say, well, then I guess Eric Azukama is not that good because he can't take the field. No. He's got a bunch of people in front of him. He's young. He probably doesn't even know the system yet. This isn't the preseason. We keep trying to explain to some of you out there that it's nice for somebody to do well in the preseason. Doesn't mean they're going to do well in the regular season. There are no coverages. It's all vanilla. They're not trying to fool you. Get a brain, dude. And right now, Eric Azukama is not needed. And that's the problem with the uneducated, ignorant fan. The uneducated, ignorant fan goes from, well, then they should have drafted another position. It's a waste. Like, they get pissed at Cedric, and it's like, do you realize that they signed Cedric before Tyreek? They had no idea Tyreek was ever even available. But once Tyreek became available, they scrapped their current plans because something better came along. So if you can trade Cedric in the offseason, you try. Because there's really, the third receiver here is useless. It's got to be, you don't need to spend big money on the third receiver. It's got to be a rotational player, like I told you, because now you added Tyreek. Plans change. The good thing is the front office didn't say, well, we made our bed. Now we got to lie in it. We're going to stay with Ced. We'd love to trade for Tyreek, but that creates a problem for us. They said, F that. We'll create the problem. And now you see why you got to create the problem. So eventually, Ced will be gone and Eric will get elevated. But Eric's got to know the system mentally. He's got to be ready for all of this, and he's not needed because you have Sherfield and Craycraft who came from the system, and they step in seamlessly, which, by the way, is the beauty of Jeff Wilson. Now that you've watched Mostert, Craycraft, and Sherfield seamlessly fit into the Dolphins from day one, Jeff Wilson will do the same thing. But I would tell you, if you're a fan, shut the hell up already about Eric Azukama. Don't worry about Eric Azukama. His time will come. It'll come. Don't worry about it. They own his ass for 4 years. They're fine. He'll probably get a lot more playing time next year when some of the guys will not be here. And then they'll elevate him. And they'll save money and all that, and they'll do their job. But this year is a developmental year for Eric Azukama. So stop wasting time asking yourself, me, or anybody else about a young man that just needs to learn this year. And you don't need to put him in a position that he may not be ready for. Roger Morant loves to get us ready for a little Miami Dolphins every week. Roger always comes up with a great rap. To a Waddle Hill, what a thrill. To a Waddle Hill, what a thrill. To a Waddle Hill, what a thrill. Cheetah. So here's Roger's rap this week as we get ready for a little Bears and Miami Dolphins.
What's up, Phinz fans? Miami's traveling to Chicago this week. Going to take over the Windy City. Who's with me? The Dolphins play the Chicago Bears. Week 9. Unsung heroes of the game will be the D-line. The Bears are going to have to run the ball. You know, the passing game is just a joke. Justin Fields don't want that smoke. Jenkins and Sealer fill the gap, while Christian and Rake won't take no crap. And when we need to rush the passer for a spell, we have been Ginkgo, Phillips, Agba, and Kamel. We did the work and have the calluses. F. Sims and Nels, putting on a better show than the Aurora Borealis. Dimes, Tua delivers in stride. So many styles on offense, other teams are running high. Try to gain some yards and matriculate the ball. Attempt to run against our defense. Some Simon in a wall. But Pagano, he's so drippy, he will lead us to the crown. Bring us back to glory. Miami Dolphins, title town. Title town. Waddle, waddle. Title town. The Dolphins don't move the chains. They score with Tua, Waddle, Wilson, Hill, and more. We're headed to the Super Bowl. You know, with Tua back, one thing is clear. We have this offense in high gear. Opposing corners have to wonder week to week, how are they to cover Waddle and Tyreek? Seeing the team blossom fills my heart with glee, and pretty soon we're chanting Tua MVP. MVP? The big three. Maybe Chris Greer. What a move for Chubbs and Wilson. My vote? Tua Waddle Hill. What a thrill. Tua Waddle Hill. What a thrill.
What a
Tua
thrill.
Waddle Hill.
Waddle Hill.
What a thrill.
What a thrill.
Cheetah.
Yeah. We love it. Roger getting us ready for a little. He always comes up with a good rap. He and Solo D. We'll play Solo D's in just a minute. Big O, did you get a chance to watch the MLS final? I haven't recorded. I did not watch it, but the goalie that Inter Miami cut was the savior of the MLS Cup. Oh, Lordy. That's too much. It's too much. It's too much. The guy that was not ready to do anything here and was out of place all the time and all that, he was the effing savior in that World Cup, in that MLS Cup finals, and in a shootout, no less. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Oh, my God. I've got my retro white Tua jersey today. It's my 35th birthday. Kevin G, happy birthday, my brother. You're going to get a fat-ass Dolphins win for your birthday, sir. That's what you deserve for your birthday. You deserve a fat-ass win overall. Let's see. You know what? You're right. I do have to bring Roger on the show. You're right, Joseph. I'm going to contact Roger. I got to bring him on the show. I was thinking about that already. And I got to have some fun with Roger and Solo D and bring those guys on the show. Have a little fun and talk with them. The best way to hide the secondary deficiencies is to get a pass rush with 4 men. Yes. No doubt about that, Dolphins 13. I'm with you 100%. And Bradley Chubb will add a little bit more pass rush for you, too. That's what I love. What I love about the Bradley Chubb deal is that you add a complete player. He can get after the quarterback. He can support the run. He can actually hold the edge too at the same time. I can't wait for Tyndall to develop. Another developmental year for him, but probably next year is where you'll start to see, Tyndall really take over and join the linebacking core and have a guy that can fly around from sideline to sideline. You're in the process now of making this linebacking core pretty damn good now with Phillips, with Chubb, and with Tyndall. So they're slowly but surely, within 2 years, he has given an absolute facelift to those linebackers. I'm just saying, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this whole thing develops. I got to tell you something. One of the things that I've been laughing about is the Justin Herbert excuses. So the last 2 years, we had hundreds and thousands and maybe millions of idiots that were killing Tua, right? And those of you that have followed this platform, I'm sitting here defending Tua, talking about how he doesn't really have coaching, how the head coach hates his ass and doesn't want him. And everybody, all my writers are fighting me on that. And eventually they all came around and they figured it out that he wasn't the guy and that he didn't like Tua. And then they figured out that he was actually pretty much, a negative for Tua from the get-go. And I said that from the beginning that there's no way you can succeed if you have nobody that's supporting you. And he just did not have the head coach supporting him. But yet now with Herbert, because he does have some injuries on that team now, right? And he's struggling. And so now they're trying to give him all the excuses. And you know what I say to those people? You guys can all screw yourselves with all your bullshit excuses for Justin Herbert. Because when he had Mike Williams and Keenan Allen and a heck of a running game in Eckler, something that Tua's never had, not to this day still, by the way, he still didn't win more than he lost. He still didn't make the playoffs. He still didn't beat Tua. And people just kept talking shit. Talking crap because he's 6'5", can run like a deer, and throw the ball 100 miles an hour. It still doesn't translate into big wins. That's the part that people still don't understand. So you can make all the excuses that his tackle is out now and that his receiver's banged up and all of that. But if he is so good, like those of you made him out to be, Why doesn't he elevate the people around him? I'm just wondering. See, the convenient argument is, oh, well, Tua's kicking ass. He has all those weapons. Well, did you watch Teddy Bridgewater? Can he do the same thing that Tua's doing? No. Oh, I wonder why. Because he's not Tua. Because he's not ever going to be as good as Tua. He never was. He never will be. And that's the reason. Yeah, those two receivers are fantastic. But people make it sound like anybody can do what Tua's doing sometimes. It's insulting. It's insulting. Other people have good receivers and they still don't get it done. Other people have good offenses and they still don't get it done. But now there are no excuses ever for Tua. There's no realities ever for Tua, because nobody around the league wanted to admit that freaking Brian Flores hated his ass. Brian Flores was scheming against him because the front office disagreed with him and wanted to draft him. And they didn't want to draft Jordan Love, the guy he wanted, because that's who he was in the draft room. He was Mr. Cockblock. No, I like this guy. No, I like that guy. No, because I'm Mr. Personnel. I've been blessed to teach people football. That's Brian Flores, the guy that couldn't understand offense if it bit him in the ass. So I love the excuses now for Justin Herbert. And most of those excuses are because you picked Justin Herbert over Tua Tagovailoa. And since you were wrong, now you're doing anything to try to find or justify your position of Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert. But the reality is there are no incredible moments in either college or so far in the NFL of big wins and lifting the team up to plateaus. I mean, so Tyreek Hill is doing something he never did in Kansas City individually. So who gets credit for that? Because Mahomes is a hell of a quarterback. And he has Andy Reid, who's a Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Fame coach, one of the greatest offensive minds we've ever had in the history of the NFL. Not the NFL, the history of the NFL. One of the best offensive minds. And he's had great talent there also. So what does it say about Tua now? I'm sorry. I'd love to know. Please explain that to me. Because if it's so easy, so then how come Tua's doing more than even Mahomes did with those guys? And Mahomes had a running game and probably a better offensive line at times. Maybe not 3 years ago when he got pummeled, but it's interesting how the excuses are always there for everyone else but Tua Tagovailoa. I laugh at that. All right, give me a 2-minute break here. I'll be right back. You are listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show.
You're listening to Miami Dolphins coverage on the Sports Talk 305 network, brought to you by EJDconstruction.com. This is the Miami Dolphins Pregame Show with Orlando Alzugaray.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Bucks, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmith in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. If you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugaray.
Hey, I don't know if it's just me. I can't hear you.
Thank you. Sorry. You got to turn up the mic. You know, it would help if you turn on the mic. My dumbass did not turn on the mic. Thank you all for hanging in there with us as always. Aaron Baccio, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, dumb fans just make you look better. LFG Phinz. Man, I just can't wait for 1 o'clock. It's just, I can't wait for 1 o'clock. It's just going to be a lot of fun to watch this team. The Dolphins, by the way, are favored by 4, the over and under 45.5. Why don't we get to our Lenny Locksmith lockdown segment right now?
Time to lock it down. The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Services in South Florida from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, ALennyLocksmith.com locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Here's the Big O to tell you what needs to be locked down.
The Canes, unfortunately, poor Tyler Van Dyke. I thought he was going to be healthy enough to play, but he clearly should not have even played. Terrible decision by the Canes coaching staff to even put him out there. They let me tell you something. One thing that's been a bad look for the Canes coaching staff, not just the coaching, because they have not looked good. Their assessment of stuff has really sucked. I got to say, you know, when you tell me that you're working on things and you've corrected them in the passing game and then you never did at the beginning of the season, and you know, I don't care what you told me this week. I don't know what you saw this week that tells you that was going to be an effective passer in the game. I mean, it's just, there are a lot of things that have gone on. Mario's got a lot of stuff to correct. I'm far from giving up on the guy and his staff. Although I will say Josh Gaddis is on double secret probation for me. That guy comes out iffy next year. I will be the first guy standing in line going, yo, Mario, fire his ass. Okay. But we'll see. Well, I'll give Gaddis another shot, but this year has been incredibly unimpressive. Anyway, my dumbass thought that Tyler was actually healthy enough to play. Now I know not to trust these guys anymore on their assessment with injured players. They have failed on that part with me now. And now I know that they may put people out there that may not be even ready to play. So I took the plus 7.5 only because of Tyler, and it failed me in over 54. They ended up scoring 48 points yesterday because the offense for the Canes was so pathetic. So we ended up losing both the over and plus 7.5. So we are down to 46, 40, and 4, just 6 over 500, which sounds like a decent record, but really has sucked lately. I've been brutal lately. I have lost more than I have won lately. That's for sure. So I've got to find a way, I keep saying, and get back hot again and stretch this win streak over. I'm going to count on my Miami Dolphins. I can't count jack shit on the Hurricanes. They are a disaster. But on the Dolphins, we're going to go -4 here. The over and under 45.5. I almost have a feeling like they're going to go over in this game, but I'm going to stay away from it. I'm going to go Dolphins -4. If the money line wasn't $200 to win 100, I would tell you to go to the money line, but -195 is just too much. But I like the Dolphins to win by 7 to 10 points. I think they'll win by 10 in this game. I'm going Dolphins -4 in this game, and I think they end up winning this game 30-13. That's what I think is going to end up happening. All right, I think they're going to kick the Bears' ass today. Quite frankly, I think the defense is going to cause all kinds of problems for them, especially the pass rush. They're going to give up all kinds of sacks. I think they're going to force turnovers. And I think the offense is going to light the Bears up like an effing Christmas tree. So Dolphins -4 at Soldier Field. That's our Lenny Locksmith lockdown segment.
The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming. All model cars. 24-hour service. Call them anywhere in South Florida at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at ALennyLocksmith.com, where we lock it down.
One of the things that we will be focused in on today will be Robert Jones. Liam Eichenberg, while I was very unhappy with his play, if you talk to people inside the building, they felt he was making progress the last 2 weeks. You got to kind of look at it play by play, and there were a couple mistakes. But if you put the mistakes aside, there was a lot of positives in it, and they felt he was making a lot less mistakes, and he was really grasping the position. That's how they feel inside the building. Just want you to know that. Outside of the building, a lot of people were kind of disappointed in Liam Eichenberg. I was one of them. I wanted a change at left guard. They were sticking with him, and in fact, they think he was kind of turning the corner the last 2 weeks. Whether you agree or not, you'll have to go back and look at it yourself and look at every play and then assess it for yourself and see what you think Liam Eichenberg is. But the guy we told you for several weeks now would be the guy that would come off the bench, because remember, I told you I'd love to see Michael Dieter get another shot. But, information that trickles out, I found out that Robert Jones was the guy that is going to get the shot at left tackle, and that Dieter's more of the center. He is locked in at center, so if anything happens to Connor, he's next in line to be center. And I think next in line now is Austin Jackson at left guard or swing tackle. Now, Austin is inactive today, so it's a moot point. It doesn't matter. They activated Keon Smith to tackle from the practice squad yesterday, so they have depth at tackle, and that was to anticipate, obviously, Austin Jackson. Not ready yet. But Robert Jones, that is one that you want to look at today. You want to focus in on the left guard. He's going to have the entire stage for himself now for 4 quarters. Robert's been a fill-in guy pretty much his career so far with the Miami Dolphins. This is another one of those undrafted guys. This is another Nick Needham and a Trill Williams and a Cater Kohu and Vernon McKinley and all Tanner Connor and some of these guys that when they grab them, they like them and they develop them and they hang on to them. Okay, so we shall see. They've invested time in Robert Jones. They clearly like Robert Jones. The new coaching staff took over and inherited Robert Jones, and they kept him. So they must like what they see from Robert Jones also. We're going to find out today. We will find out. Is Rowe starting? No, I don't know if Rowe is starting or not. I'm not exactly sure. He is active. Now, Rowe is dealing with a hip injury. Jalen Phillips dealing with a quad. Teron Armstead's dealing with a toe and an ankle. And Tanner Connor is dealing with a knee. So all of them are active, but they are dealing with some kind of an issue. So that's the question. So maybe Rowe is not starting, but he comes off the bench and he helps out in situational, moments. Maybe that's what he's there for. Maybe they want to grow Vernon McKinley a little bit more. You never know. You never know. Solo D. Solo D is the godfather of Dolphin rap, right? Roger Morant now is obviously part of the mix, and he does a phenomenal job. But Solo D has been, obviously, he's the godfather. Nobody comes close to Solo D. He's been doing this for years now, okay? So let's play a little bit of the Godfather as he gets us ready for a little Dolphins and Chicago Bears here on the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show.
Excuse the interruption. With my crew back in discussion. We got Windy City tour. Yeah, he blew through them concussions. 2-0 since he came back. Yeah, he played the game proper. We just smoked that lion pack. Rest in peace, Mufasa. Trade line legends. 22 was classic. Shout out Chris Greer. Mr. F them draft picks. Picked up 2 dogs. Put them in the huddle. The gift that keeps giving. Shout out Lemmy Tunson.
Spot one for Lemmy, man. We need a statue for my dog.
Just left Detroit, cleared it with the W. We holding that, so in Chicago I need W's, and we don't want to lose. We tired of that, we trying to fill the void, kill that noise. We gon' leave them L's up in Illinois. Hit the Windy City with the flames like a campfire. If the Bears try to crash it, hit them with the tranquilizer. Coach Mac G said we ain't supposed to yield. He been pushing P, planning victory on Soldier Field, picking up the pieces, putting players in position, plotting on the playoffs pretty soon's my premonition. Stop playing. Nobody stopping T Hill. Picked up B Chubbs, he getting chubby, about to eat fields. You can't ice the penguin. You need to tell your D chill. We be water dancing through the city, we can't be still. Super Bowl mission, we can't afford failure. Disrespect us, we gon' speak on it. Joy Taylor, gotta go hard on Sunday. We can't place out. Dolphins to the moon in the memory of takeoff.
Respect. There you go. That was nice. Little love at the end for takeoff. Anyway, good stuff from Solo D as always, getting us ready for a little Chicago Bears. I love it. I love it. I love it. Very good. I need to get me a shot glass like Big O. I would say it's lemon water too. Yes, it's actually honey and lime, not lemon. Honey and lime. What is it about you all? Some of you out there, you think I'm drinking liquor or something like that. I would be one hell of a drunk, bro. Yeah, I have this on the show every day. Like every day I'm taking swigs. You would figure that a couple of hours in, I'd be like, well, let's get you ready for the Dolphins and the... Is it the Bears? Yeah. Bears. Yeah, that's I kind of would be like that after a couple of hours of taking some. And listen, I'm not a guy who could hold my liquor. Actually, I'm the wrong guy to be, drinking on air. That would be an absolute disaster if I drank on air, because I've never been that guy that, I can outdrink you, or no, dude, no. I would say 99.999% of the men and women on this earth will outdrink me. Okay, that's all I can tell you. I'm not much of a drinker. I take a couple. I take a hard liquor and a couple shots of this, and said I'm toasted, bro. I'm done, because I'm not used to drinking a lot of liquor, so it's not something that's in my system that I can do it. So yeah, I know. I love how you guys trip out on that, where you think I'm drinking all kinds of liquor there every single day. Big O, do you like the band Rammstein? I don't know anything about them. I've seen like videos, and I've heard a couple of songs here or there, but I don't know anything about them. But I do know that from what I'm told, they put on one hell of a show, is what I'm told. Rammstein, and what's the other one? Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I think they're called. Yeah, I've heard that those two are those are interesting concerts to go to. Very melodic metal and things like that. Yeah. But I can't tell you that I know a song or anything about them, but I know who they are, and I've seen, little videos here or there and whatever, but I can't tell you I'm a fan or anything like that. Would I go to a concert just to experience it? Sure. Why not? If I'm invited, I'm probably not going to pay for it. If I'm invited, I'll try it. Am I going to go buy a pair of tickets to go see Rammstein? No, I'm not. How about the hippopotamus? I don't know. What about the hippopotamus? Or hip-hop-popotamus? What the hell is the hip-hop-popotamus?
Is that me rapping or something? Solo D turnover chain is fire. I missed the chain and the turnover. Kudos to DJ Ivy for the one highlight of last night's game. Yeah, but kudos to Ivy for all the lowlights too. It doesn't really help out much. You know what I'm saying? I assumed it was espresso liquor, and he'd be like Rob. Oh, yeah, Euchre. Yes, that's me on Major League Movies. That's it. Bragging about your liquor threshold is for teenagers. Well, there's plenty of men that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s that act like teenagers all the time and brag about how much liquor they can hold. I know because I hear it, because I'm the one that never says I can hold a lot of liquor, because that's definitely not me. Never been me. Never been me. The greatest rapper ever. Hip hop hippopotamus? Yeah, I don't know who he is, but I can already tell you you're wrong there, okay? They sing in Germany, very heavy. Okay, yeah. All right. I don't know. I guess I'll check out Hip Hop Hippopotamus on YouTube. Oh, it might be the slurring, glossy eyes and alcohol breath I can smell through the speakers. Wait, that's me. Hiccup. Phinz need to save my South Florida sports weekend. Oh, they will. Brooklyn. Rob, don't worry about it, man. We're going to have some fun in a couple minutes here, man. We're going to get to watch Tua do his thing. We're going to get to watch Tyreek and Waddle. And I'm excited for Jeff Wilson now complimenting Mostert. I think Mostert's going to have a really good game today. Maybe in the postgame show, I'll tell you, well, I was wrong about that one. But I think this is like you fantasy dudes out there and dudettes. If you've got Mostert, I hope you, well, listen, maybe you have two better backs that you use every week. But there are 6 teams off this week, right? There's a bunch of teams off this week. If you need a running back and you've got Mostert on the bench, I really like Mostert this week as one of your starters or a flex player. I really do. I think this is one of those games that I think is perfect for Mostert. I really do. Jonathan says, I've got Mostert, Tua, and Waddle. There you go. Did you already talk about the IMG game? No, I did not. Why would I talk about the IMG game? This is a Miami Dolphins pregame show, sir. This is not a sports talk show. That's on Monday that we'll talk about the IMG and how they scored 87 points in one quarter. I know. I don't drink, but the Canes are driving me to. That would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense right there. I could see that. What I would do is probably stay away from the drinking and stay away from the Canes. That way you don't get the habit of drinking. By the way, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button before you get out. It would be very appreciative if you can smash the hell out of the like button. Remember, we're going to be back for the postgame show the second the game ends. Marcel Louis-Jacques will join us from the locker room. All right, so we'll get to talk to Marcel and we'll get his thoughts on the game. We'll go over any of the comments from Mike McDaniel. If there's any earth-shattering comments or anything like that, we will definitely follow up with all of that. Don't forget, we're giving away a pair of tickets for the Heat and the Portland Trailblazers on Monday. We give away the tickets in the post-game show. You got to follow on Instagram, red.recover. And then hashtag Big O Radio Show, and you'll be entered. We're going to pick a winner at the end of the game here in postgame, and we will announce it in the postgame show. So be listening, and you got to have a Ticketmaster account in order to get those tickets. Okay, so we'll contact you and everything by Instagram and all that, and you can win. So follow red.recover on Instagram, and make sure you post and tag us at hashtag Big O Radio Show. Okay, there you go. All right. What else do we have going on? Tupac. Yes, definitely miss Tupac. Miss Biggie, too. I love Biggie. That was one of my favorites. Sucks. We got to stop killing our rappers. Well, we got to stop killing, period. It would be nice to end the gun violence. Would be really nice. But specifically in rap. Okay? I mean, think about this. I'm supposedly one of the things that are out there, the Quavo's agent had a gun. He's the guy that had the gun. Like, what are you doing? Is that how you're going to live your life? Dude, go to a casino and gamble. You can walk in and out nice and happy and healthy and no guns, no nothing. You lose your money, the casino takes it. You win your money, the casino gives it to you. Put it in a credit for you, whatever you want to do. You don't have to worry about anything. What are you doing in the streets, man? Get away from the streets. Streets are terrible. So, blessed takeoff. Rest in peace. I just wish everybody else would, make better decisions in that sense and stay away from the damn guns. All right, we are out of here. We thank Sean Stanley. Nobody works harder than that man putting it all together. We will be back for the post-game show. Dolphins will defeat the Bears. Hang in there. They'll get to 6-3. We'll talk about the game when it finishes. You all be good out there. Be safe. Hit the like button on your way out. Love you all. We'll see you after the game. Same place, same bat channel. Have a great one. Go Phinz.
This has been the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings, get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDconstruction.com, 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Dolphins football.